Are you looking for a vibrant, diverse, and surprisingly affordable place to call home in the city of Los Angeles? Well, you might have overlooked a hidden gem, South Los Angeles. In this video, I'll unveil the top 5 reasons why you might want to call South LA your new home. And I'll show you exactly how South Los Angeles is redefining exactly what it means to be one of the world's most dynamic cities. Let's get into it. Hello everyone and welcome to the channel Living in Los Angeles. My name is Ra-sōn Theus, your Los Angeles real estate broker, and I would be honored to hold your hand and guide you through the entire home buying process. Now this channel is dedicated to folks just like you and helping you learn everything you need to know about moving to the city of LA. So if you're thinking about moving to the city of LA, go ahead, hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell so that every week when I release new videos, you guys will be notified. Now today, we're diving deep into the heart of the city. We're going to be exploring the diverse and dynamic landscape of South Los Angeles. From its historic streets of Vermont Square and Leimert Park, to its bustling avenues in Watts, all the way to the artistic soul of Crenshaw, South LA is a mosaic of neighborhoods, each with its own unique flavor. All right, so as we dive into the map here, you can see that South Los Angeles is actually bordered to the north here, pretty much by the 10 freeway. And it's made up of several different neighborhoods. So right here towards the northern border, we have the neighborhood of West Adams. West Adams is an awesome historic neighborhood. A lot of historic Victorian style homes are located there. Many of the homes in West Adams are actually protected under HPOS, which is just a designation from the city that says that these homes are going to be historically protected. So if you buy a home, one of these HPOS homes, you do have to go through quite a bit more if you're going to do any type of remodeling to the outside of the home because they are actually protected by the city. Now we also have very popular neighborhood Jefferson Park. As we come across the northern border here, you can see University Park. This is where USC is actually located. Then we start to get into like the South Central area, the South Park area, Exposition Park. We'll talk about that later in the video. We have Vermont Square. And then we have the more affluent neighborhoods of Baldwin Hills over here. We have Windsor Hillview Park over here. We have the High Park neighborhood here, more towards central South Los Angeles, even though it's technically not South Central Los Angeles. Now, on this map, it does not show that Inglewood is a part of South LA. Now, I'm born and raised here in the city, and when you talk to other Angelinos and people who are from LA, they will definitely include Inglewood as a part of South Los Angeles. So that's just something that you want to know. Inglewood is a part of South Los Angeles, 100%. Then we have the Florence area here. We have the Vermont Knolls area. There's some historic landmarks located there. The Faith Dome is located in Vermont Knolls. Then as we come over here, we have the Broadway section, Manchester, we have Watts. And then right on these borders here, it goes a little bit past the 105 freeway, the southern border of South Los Angeles. Now the western border, like I said, does comprise of Inglewood. And with that said, you would pretty much say that this street, which is La Cienega, runs along the 405 is here, then it turns off. And then this street is La Cienega. So pretty much La Cienega is that imaginary border that allows you to cross into South Los Angeles. It depends on who you ask, though, to be honest with you. To the east, we have the street of Alameda. Like I said, that's a main street, and it pretty much separates East LA from South Los Angeles. So that's pretty much a breakdown of South Los Angeles. As you can see, it's super centrally located in the smack dab in the middle of Los Angeles. So now that we know exactly where South Los Angeles is, let's actually dive into the top 5 reasons that you might want to move here. So reason number 1 that you may want to call South LA your new home is going to be the cultural tapestry. There is an amazing cultural tapestry in South Los Angeles. Now, don't get it mixed up. All of Los Angeles is a very diverse city, and there is people from literally every single country in the world has a residence here in the city of Los Angeles, and all types of backgrounds and all types of walks of life, but nowhere is that more prevalent than in South LA. In South LA, there definitely is a large Latin and African American influence to South LA, but in the last 15 years, there has been folks from all over the world moving into South LA. So, like I said, highly diverse place. Now, not only is it very culturally diverse, South LA is very financially diverse. So what do I mean by that? In most parts of Los Angeles, let's just say Santa Monica, let's just say Palos Verdes, let's say West Hollywood, Hancock Park, all of these different neighborhoods, these are affluent neighborhoods. So most of the neighbors and the people living in those neighborhoods actually are within the same financial bracket. Where in South Los Angeles, the range of household income varies. Now, one thing I want to point out is that South Los Angeles does actually have one of the lowest average incomes of most of the city of Los Angeles. So if you're looking at, West LA, if you're looking at Hollywood, if you're looking at the Valley, if you're looking at the South Bay area, and you're comparing medium household income, South LA does come in at the lowest, but it's also very diverse. So, perfect example, let's just say you're living on a street in South LA. You could very well have a neighbor, and maybe the wife is a doctor and the husband might be a nurse. And there are some, pretty decent earners, right? But you could also, on that very same street, have a neighbor that might be digging through the trash can and collecting recycling, and that's how they pay their rent. So you just have this mix of low income, you have this mix of medium income, you have this mix of affluent income. Now, as far as the affluent income, that's going to be mostly in the Baldwin Hills area, the View Park, Windsor Hill area, and Ladera Heights. Some people consider Ladera Heights West LA, some people consider it South LA. It's one of those cities that's kind of right on the border. But anyway, those three areas are definitely the most affluent neighborhoods. And later on, I'll show you some houses in those neighborhoods so you can see what I'm talking about. But as you move east into South LA, you will see more of that financial diversity that I'm talking about. So, South LA, because of the cultural tapestry of it, I definitely recommend South LA for folks who love cultural diversity. If you're someone that doesn't like cultural diversity, then South LA is not for you. From my experience, my clients that move from really large cities all over the world, so people from London, I've had a lot of clients that moved to South LA from London. I've had clients from New York, Chicago, Miami. What I've noticed is people that are moving from really large metropolis cities tend not to have any issues with the cultural diversity. They actually appreciate it. And because of that, they get to, access a lot of the benefits that come along with living in South Los Angeles. So, number one reason that you might want to move to South LA is definitely going to be the cultural diversity and the cultural tapestry that makes up this particular part of the city. Moving on to reason number two. So the second reason you might definitely want to go ahead and call South LA your new home, and this probably should have been the number one reason, is because South LA is the most affordable part of Los Angeles City. You would have to go out almost 50 to 70 miles to find the deals for housing that you'll find in South Los Angeles. So if you're looking for a single family home, an investment property, or even a stunning estate that has views from the top of the hill, then South LA is definitely, you're going to get the biggest bang for your buck in this part of the city. So I'm going to jump into my website and I'm going to show you some examples of the type of homes that you'll find in South Los Angeles. Okay guys, so we're here on my website. So when you come to my website, it's just Ra-sōn You'll see here, you can go down. We have a section for if you're a buyer and you would like to move forward with that. If you're a seller and you'd like to move forward. If you're a realtor out there and you're looking to partner with me. And you can just go right up here to the top to where it says search property. So we're going to click there. And that's going to bring you to the main website here. And you were just going to type in South Los Angeles. You can see actually it comes up right here. Okay, so now it's going to bring up all the homes that are located in South Los Angeles because I didn't put a filter for pricing. So we're going to go from the most expensive home and it's going to show us all the way to the least expensive home. So let's look at the top home in South LA. Let's look at a middle home and then we'll look at one of the lower price homes so you guys can get an idea of what we're talking about here in South LA. So one of the premier neighborhoods in South LA is View Park. I made a whole in-depth video, a whole neighborhood tour that tells you everything you need to know about View Park. So if you want to watch that video, just look in the top right-hand corner here and you can access that video. Now let's dive in. So if we click on this property here, now you can see this is a beautiful mid-century single level home. Now this particular home here is a 4-bedroom, 5-bathroom. It's about 3,900 square feet. And it sits on like a 12,500 square foot lot. So this is a pretty large house for all of Los Angeles, to be honest with you. Definitely for South LA, right? So let's click on some of the pictures so you can kind of get an idea of what we're talking about here. So this is a beautiful home. I know exactly where this home is at. Awesome house. This home, I'm going to keep going. I want to show you. It actually has stunning views. So I just want to show you how even in South Los Angeles, you can get some amazing views right here. So this is actually the views from, let me see if I can zoom that in a little bit for you. Yeah, these are the views from one of the windows that's located on the north side of the house here. And as you can see, it overlooks all of Los Angeles. This shot doesn't even show you all of the views of this house because it actually, if we were to keep going to the left, you'd be able to see the observatory and the Hollywood sign. So these are some legendary LA views that you get in a house like this. Now, this house is listed right under $3 million. So as you can see, homes in South Los Angeles still do go up to $3 million. Now, what I want to point out is that this home, if it was on this other hill on this side, on the Hollywood Hills, would be nothing short of $10 million. So exact same house, you pick it up, you put it in the Hollywood Hills, you're looking at minimum a $10 million home. So as you can see, even in the higher price points, you're going to get a tremendous savings in South LA compared to other parts of the city. Personally, I would prefer to live on this hill because you have better views than you do from the Hollywood Hills. You get really nice views of downtown LA. You actually are staring at all those homes in the Hollywood Hills from this perspective. You get views of the Hollywood sign, you get views of the observatory, and in some cases in View Park, some of the homes can even see the ocean. So it's actually a pretty awesome place to be. I love View Park. It's an amazing neighborhood. All right, so let's move back on. Let's skip forward and do one of the more lower price points. So if we were to come down here, let's check out this one here. All right, so now this is going to be 1456 West 89th Street. This is going to be more of what you would call like the South Central area. Also, it's not very far from the Vermont Knolls section of South Los Angeles. And as you can see, actually before we look at the photos, let's go back and I want to show you. So this is a 3-bedroom, basically 2 bath. It's 1 full bath, 1 half bath. And it's priced at $850,000 and it's about 1,564 square feet. So I want to show you what the interior looks like on this one. Now this is a corner lot. Has actually pretty decent curb appeal. I like it because it has a lot of its original Spanish features. So they did a pretty good job of maintaining the character of this particular house while doing a nice little upgrade on it. So this is a beautiful home. And for people who love a Spanish style home, I mean, you're the highest concentration of Spanish style homes is going to be in South Los Angeles. So if you're a fan of a home like this, you really get to take your pick. And as you can see, you can save quite a bit of money. You can definitely find Spanish style homes throughout West Los Angeles, throughout West Hollywood, throughout Beverly Hills, but you are going to be paying almost triple the amount, in some cases quadruple the amount for the exact same house in those neighborhoods. So that's why South Los Angeles is such a value. All right. Now let's go see what one of the lower price homes is going to look like, okay? All right, guys, so let's check out this one here. This is a 2-bedroom, 1 bath. All right, so this is a 2-bedroom, 1 bath house. This is 340 East 118th Place. This is definitely more of that like South Central Los Angeles, part of South Los Angeles. And like I said, it's priced at $490,000. It is a 2-bedroom, 1 bath. 918 square feet. So it's definitely a small house. Let's take a look and see what condition that it's in. So as we can see here, definitely, I could tell like the roof already is going to need some work. You got some chip paint here, stuff like that. So let's keep looking. Doesn't have the prettiest curb appeal. Yeah, so this home is definitely going to be a house that you want to come in and you're going to want to do some work on, right? And so you'll find a lot of homes like that in South LA as well too, especially as you get into the lower price points. So this home, someone could pick up, come in, probably drop about, I don't know, 120 to 170,000 and then put it back on the market at a higher price point. Or, live in it for themselves and then they'll have a nice house. Let's keep looking at some of the photos here. So this home is definitely old in some of its original condition. You can tell that's not even drywall, that's actually plaster. So This house has never really been updated. So someone needs to come in and, give it some TLC and restore it to its original condition. But this is a great example of what some of the lower price points are going to look like when you're in South LA. So as you can see here, you're definitely going to find the best deals in all of Los Angeles are going to be located in South LA. If you're looking for a stunning estate, you can find one at a great deal in South LA. And if you're looking for like an absolute starter home or a fix and flip, you're also going to get the best deals on those in South Los Angeles. And because of that very fact, there's a lot of different kinds of people out there who are telling themselves, I love cultural diversity. All right, so let's move on. So the number 3 reason that you might want to consider moving to South Los Angeles is its proximity to all the key attractions here in the city of Los Angeles. South LA, as I showed you from the map, is very centrally located. It's smack dab in the middle of LA City. So it's very short distance to get to downtown LA. It's a short distance to get to the beaches. It's a short distance to get to the South Bay area. It's a short distance for you to go over to Beverly Hills, and it's not even too far from the Valley. So depending on where you like to hang out and the different things you like to do, depending on where you work, it's very centrally located. In addition to being centrally located and just down the street from all the key attractions of LA, a lot of the awesome features about LA are actually located in South Los Angeles. So for example, the University of Southern California is located right in South Los Angeles, USC. So if you're a USC fan or if you're not a USC fan, the world famous university is located smack dab in the middle of South Los Angeles. Now in that same area, we have Expedition Park. Now Expedition Park is an amazing park and it has so many activities and things to do. So let's dive into that. Expedition Park is home to some of LA's most amazing museums. We have the Museum of Natural History. We have the African American Museum there. We have the Museum of Science there. Actually, at the Expedition Park Museum of Science is where the Space Shuttle Endeavour is housed. It's been there for almost a decade now. They're actually doing some remodeling as I'm filming this. They're going to be standing the Space Shuttle Endeavour up. And so I drove by literally 2 days ago and the 2 rocket boosters are already installed. They're going to be installing the orange tank and then they're going to stand up the Space Shuttle Endeavour. And that's going to be a whole new exhibit they have there. So that's pretty awesome. Also in that same complex, we have the Vimeo football stadium. So that's where the LA Football Club plays. That's LA's soccer team. Is right there in that very same complex. Also in that same complex, you have the world famous LA Coliseum. The LA Coliseum has been home to several football teams throughout the year. And guess what? It's hosted 2 separate Olympic Games. It hosted the 1932 Olympics and it hosted the 1984 Olympics. And coming up, South LA will be hosting its 3rd Olympics because the Olympics will be coming to the new SoFi Stadium in 2028, right in the city of Inglewood, which is a part of South LA as well. So when the Olympics come to town, they're coming to South Los Angeles. And that Olympics that's coming up is actually going to be bringing a lot of attention to South LA once again. So in addition to the LA Coliseum and that same Expedition Park complex, they're actually right now in the process of building the George Lucas Museum of Art and Narrative Storytelling. So this is a museum that's dedicated to the famous filmmaker George Lucas. As you may or may not know, he actually went to USC, which is right across the street from Expedition Park. And so they're building an amazing state-of-the-art complex that is literally just an architectural marvel right there at the Expedition Park complex. Now, in addition to that, over in Inglewood, they're building a new basketball stadium for the LA Clippers. It's called the Intuit Dome. And so that'll be finished by the end of this year. So as you can see, South LA is not only just centrally located to all of the rest of awesome parts of Los Angeles, but within its own confines has many awesome landmarks and activities that you would, even if you lived in other parts of the city, would most likely be coming over to South LA quite a bit so that you can partake in. So that is the 3rd reason that you might want to move to South Los Angeles. Let's hop into the next reason. So reason number 4 is going to be accessible city living. So kind of like the point I just made in reason number 3, where it's centrally located, because it's so centrally located, all of the best aspects of Los Angeles's public transportation is going to be all throughout South Los Angeles. So there's already an existing system that's been there forever, which is going to be the bus system. There's several railway systems. There's some new railway systems. We have the new Expedition line that you can hop on in downtown Los Angeles, runs right through the Crenshaw corridor, and it will take you from South LA to Santa Monica in about 15 minutes. So if you work in Santa Monica, you could easily live in South LA and have a very short commute. There's also another new Crenshaw line that they just built that takes you from the northern part of South LA all the way through central South LA down Crenshaw Boulevard, and will let you out currently in Inglewood, but they're building it up so that it'll take you all the way to the airport. So you'll be able to land in LAX, hop on a train, and bring you right into South Los Angeles. And in addition to that, all the major bus lines that take you to every part of Los Angeles City, including the Valley, is located and has bus stops all throughout. So if you live in South LA and you don't want to drive, there's definitely a lot of public transportation options that you have just by living in South Los Angeles. All right, so the fifth reason that you might want to consider moving to South LA is that South LA is one of the #1 economically growing parts of all of Los Angeles County. So there's so much money being poured in from developers into South LA. It really started in Inglewood about maybe 7 years ago when they first proposed building the SoFi Stadium. Over $13.6 billion was poured into the city of Inglewood. In addition to the SoFi Stadium, all the buildings that come along with it, the surrounding areas. They've created a lot of what's called opportunity zones here in South LA, which is really encouraging investors to want to put their money in to projects in South LA. They get a lot of tax incentives and things like that. So within the last 5 years, we've seen a ton of new developments going up. So much of historic Crenshaw has been completely demolished and new buildings are coming up. Affordable housing is coming up all throughout Leimert Park. This is happening all throughout South Los Angeles. You're seeing new apartment buildings going up, new condominiums going up, things like that. So there's so much economic development that's actually being brought into South LA. So it's a great sign because it shows that this area is definitely on the rise. So that's definitely fantastic news if you're somebody that's thinking about investing in South Los Angeles. Now, I don't just want to hype it up. Let's give you some actual numbers. So looking at the actual data, there was recently a Redfin report that reported that South Los Angeles is experiencing the highest equity growth out of all of LA County. So if you look at it year over year, Los Angeles, even with these high interest rates right now, is experiencing a 3.5% equity increase year over year compared to 2.7%. Compare that to Los Angeles County. So that is a tremendous value right there. By investing in South Los Angeles, you're actually going to get a better return on your investment from a real estate perspective. In addition to that, South Los Angeles is also experiencing some of the highest job growth numbers, outpacing Los Angeles County. So South LA is coming in at a 3.7% job rate growth, and LA County is experiencing a 2.2% job rate growth year over year. So based on those numbers, it definitely tells us that now is a great time to get in early so that you can experience the massive growth that we're going to see in South LA, especially as we get closer and closer to those 2028 Olympics. You're only going to see more economic development, only going to see more new housing, and you're only going to see more job growth. So now is a good time to get in early. So those are the top 5 reasons I think you might want to consider moving to South LA. Now, one of the things I want to point out is that LA is an awesome and amazing city, a diverse city, and it really has something to offer everyone that's at every single level. One of the things I want you to consider is that South LA is a great way for you to get your foot into this city as long as you're cool with everything that comes along with being in the neighborhood of South LA. But what I love to point out is that when we're having 70-degree sunny days in Beverly Hills, we're also having 70-degree sunny days in South LA. So many of the awesome features about LA you still get to experience, and in some cases, it makes living in LA easier because of how centrally located it is. So there you have it, South Los Angeles. Now, if you have any other questions, please feel free to leave comments below. I would love to know if you agree with the things I covered in this video. If you disagree with the things I covered in this video, let's talk about it in the comments below. Now, if you have any questions or if you would like to know more about any other part of Los Angeles, including South Los Angeles, then feel free to reach out to me. You can call, text, or email me. All of my contact information is below in the description. And if you're serious about getting into the Los Angeles real estate market to buy or sell one of your properties, then I highly recommend that you schedule a consultation with me. We'll hop on that Zoom consultation. I'll listen to your unique situation and help you come up with a game plan so that you can win in this Los Angeles real estate market. All right, guys, that's all I have for this video, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.